Okay, I had someone come to me and tell me I'm dumb. I'm a dumb Canadian. Well, I said I may be a dumb Canadian, but I think I'm quite wise. And why I said that is I'm going to have to pull my book over towards me just in case I forget what I'm going to say. I'm going to look into my book and forget anyways, but I'm going to say what I have to say. Under the first constitutional flag in 1776, there were 13 stars. There were 7 red lines encompassed by 6 white lines in between. 13 years from 1776 to 1789, which encompassed the new president, which was George Washington. Didn't you know he had a bow in the back of his neck? You know what it means, the bow in his hair in the back of the neck? It's when you take your 2 fingers, you cross them, you put them back behind your back, and you speak. It says, I lie. Then I took out the George Washington quarter, and I turned it to this side, and then I turned it around this way. And I noticed that the George Washington quarter, the eagle is up. George Washington head is down. George Washington head is up. And the eagle is down. It says, I lie. Yes, that's what it says. Now, if you start 13 years later, they said, what happened? The British colonies came in. They wanted to knock out this try for that new independence that they signed. It took 13 years before the first president. So what I do is I play with the game of 13 and 31. 13 and 31 is 44. 31 and 13 is 44. 13 and 31 is 44 plus 13 is 57. 31 plus 13 plus 31 is 75. 1776 and 6771, when 7 plus 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5, equals to 5775. The Hebrew New Year next year in October is 5775, in which there were 75,075 moons. GE 75, OR 73, which is 6, or just the O, not the R, because it counts for the angel residency, which is 6 and 9. At the same time, the 75,075 moons, the same as the words of the national independence. How many presidents were there? What? 57 terms, HI, NZ, the letters that repeat, Heinz, total, 57. When you turn to the roulette wheel, they find a special spot in the roulette wheel that says orphelin, which actually means orphans, or in my vocabulary, it says orphan children of Morpheus. There are how many presidents? 57 terms times 4 is 228. Funny how it's 57 by 4 is 228 when we end up at 227. But we're not going to talk with an Irish kite in between. 57 times 40, okay, is 2,280 if I got that correct. But 44 by 57 is 228, which equals to the number of years there are going to be until the year 2016. But in the year 2015, the number 5775 of the Hebrew calendar is lit up, and it comes to be the exact number. Barack Obama, what president is he? I want you to answer this right now. Before I go any further, what president is Barack Obama? Think about it. I'm just a dumb Canadian, don't forget. He's the 43rd president. 4 and 3, 3 and 4, doesn't matter. It's hot and cold water anyways. And also is 77 for the 49 jovial years that we run out in the Hebrew calendar. Again, everything seems to be running off that Hebrew calendar. That's right, because Grover Cleveland, you know Grover, from Sesame Street, he was the 22nd and 24th president, making that only one president, not 2, just in 2 different terms. That's all it is. That's all I have to say, I think. Yes, I've said it all about 13 and 31, so let me go on to the next stage. Okay, on one side we have 57, the other we have 75. 57 plus 31 equals 88. That is Herbert Hoover, and he's the 31st president. 75 plus 13 equals 88. Same president again. The first president, 88 plus 13, 101. Earth and Mars, 4 and 3, opposition on the dice. 88 again, but this time with 31, equals 119. 9/11, all 9/11 corners in Monopoly have happened in disaster. 119 days after the Day of Independence. That's right. July 4th 119 days later, Halloween. Now we're going to go and put 31 onto the next one, is 132, which is ABC backwards. And we're going to put 13 onto 119, and we match up again at 132, equals to 264. Buildings do not have spirit. Minus 10 for the connection because there is no birth. It's a build and a creation. Equals to 254. 254th day, 7, 9, 11. Building 7 and 9, 11. And 9, 11 happened. Twin towers went down. Then we go on to 132 on each one. And 132 plus 13 is 145. And that's the angle of the antenna, the perfect view everybody can get when the antenna went up on the Twin Towers. When we put 31 to 132, it becomes 263. 2 by 63 is 126. 126 equals 9, or Abe Lincoln, because that's what it works out in numerology. In the new kind of numerology that I have learned through games people play. You think this is right? This says civil. S-I-V-E-L. Civil. Levis, it means the screw. The screw that we got, or Elvis. Put the E in front of the L is Elvis for life that has been lived. The civil life of man, that he was shaking his hips, and they didn't want that. Because that was a way of showing the people how games people play, another way of understanding things, which most people don't understand, so I'm not going to explain it any more than that. So now we end up with 145 in one, and 163 in the other one. The total at this time is 308, or creation of the heavens. 30 by 8 is 240, which is 240 hours in a 10-day period in which we go 6, 1, and 3 the football score, in which 16 hours are awake, 8 hours are asleep, and the 10th day is the 24 hours we pray to God. Then we go from 145, okay, all the way up to 176, which is the spirit of 76, and we meet with the next one, the spirit of 76. 352 over here, 13 more days, and that's the end of the year. So we add up 176, and on the top when we go 13 equals to 189, and on the bottom we go 31, makes 307, and the total now is 496, which is the rotation of 9. 4 by 9 is 36, and 4 by 6 is 24. 24 and 36 equals 60, and in gematria, it means the 4 pillars. The number 4 is what 0 is replaced by, because this is where it starts. It all starts by number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're able to box the corners. When we play with the 5 dice, we now end up with the X. We now have X and O, which stands for 39. I'm keeping this video real short. And that, my friends, is the 7th inning stretch, in which one team plays 7 innings and the other is 6. The spirit of 76, so we all have to sing, so we keep in the spirit, and they keep us in. Games people play, so we can't connect to it. The moon tonight is working real hard. This is something's going to happen. The moon in my area, and don't forget, it's what I see, not what you see. It's what I see. What you see is what you write and what you tell me, but what I see is what I write and I tell you. The moon is collecting the mist of the clouds, okay? It means she's very cold. She's full. The information to our connected satellite, or I call it the 3 little pigs or the white wolf, is preparing for something secretly somewhere in the U.S. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you what it is. I don't do predictions. I just read the way it is. I read before the lines. Don't forget on my shirt, when you still look, V next to 1 is a Roman numeral 4, or V next to 1 is a Roman numeral 4. If we bring it into French, this E would turn this I into another E. It would say to leave us alone. Levi is 505, 50 by 5 is 250, plus the 4 corners, 254, the day the Twin Towers went down. Now I know it's just hypothetical and all a little bit all over the place, but it's good enough. I can't go too deep into everything sometimes. Why? Because I have to study everything. I have to know just a little bit about everything. For now, a little bit is enough. Over time, I will correct the little errors that I might make, but right now in this video, I have made only one, and that's for you to tell me. I am Raphael. I have been born again, and I have died in my life. According to a phone call I made on May 5th at 8:30 in the evening, I have died on that evening, and I came back to life once I left the hospital. When they tried to kill me again by giving me 1,500 milligrams of Seroquel that I couldn't even walk to my room. I didn't even know where my room was. When I woke up in the middle of the night, thank God there was a wall next to me to keep me up because I wasn't able. And don't touch your medication or play with it, they told me. When I was in the hospital, there was a gentleman that was there that was telling my mother, watch out for the pharmacies, they want to get you. Watch out for the pharmacies. And my mother was laughing, who is this kid? Stay away from this kid. But you know what? It took me 4 or 5 years, and now I see it's all over the place. So this kid was not wrong. And he's being cooped up in a hospital because they think he's dangerous. No, he's not dangerous. They made him that way through the system. So I will let it be as go as this. And I really thank you for watching up the 11th minute. It's very rare that somebody watches a Mr. Tack Pants up to the 11th minute. So we'll let this go as now, and I'll light up one cigarette before it ends.